G'day and welcome to another episode of BlankCanvasTV.com. My name's Andre Knott and we are changing the way you see, view and experience art. We're in the studio again today. We're talking about art concepts. We've been given a lot of questions by our viewers about what kind of things they'd like to hear about, and to answer a few questions about concepts in art history and art ideas of the modern day as well. That's what we're doing here today in the studio. We've been out into the major cities around the world. We've been talking to artists, we've been talking to collectors, been talking to gallery owners, we've been talking to all sorts of people out in the art world and concepts out there. We're going to come back in the studio right here, talk about this one here, and that is what theme is most important in art, or are some more important than others. Basically what we're looking at right here is is subject matter more important? Certain artistic subjects more important than others? And historically the answer is yes. You only have to look at churches around Europe and look at the way in which art in Europe throughout the Renaissance, Baroque and of course into the Neoclassicist era of the 1500s right through to about the middle 1700s was shaping the way the world saw and experienced things in general. And the major benefactors, or the major people who were actually commissioning these works, were the church and the major nobility and the kings and queens of Europe and the people who had the money, essentially. So yes, the subject took on a huge significance. It took on, basically was very, very important. It was absolutely of greatest importance in the work rather than the expression of what was in the painting itself. So that's historically the answer to that question. Are themes and subjects more important than others? Yes, absolutely, at the time they were, but now not so much. Today the answer is no. In fact, there's now art is based mainly on execution. The critics out there look at the execution of an artwork rather than the actual subject matter. So nowadays the significance is placed, okay, yes, you could have Jesus Christ being painted in a work, and you could also have a peasant painted in another work. Which is more important? Well, it's not the actual subject matter right there, or the significance of the subject, but the way in which it's created, the execution of the brushstroke, of the sculptor's chisel, you might say, to create the works right there. Which has the masterful execution? In the modern day, that's the way it's looked at. In the 20th century, it must be understood, so the last 100 years or so, artists abandoned the idea, the thing, in the subject, for example, in the works, for the idea or the concept behind it. So the meaning behind the work took on a lot more significance. Not necessarily the meaning, but the way in which, or the expression, the idea of expression, the artistic expression of the artist took on huge significance, much more than the subject matter. So that's particularly in abstract art, and as time went on, all the abstract expressionism and the like. However, I think it's important that you understand that in the future, the subject matter will always remain, right? I mean, subject matter will always be an art, and therefore you may have a re-emergence of the importance of subject matter as years go by. In the future, there's probably something artists are thinking or dreaming about things now that have never been dreamed of before in the art world. So the subject matter may return as a massive monument to art as well. But I think this is important as well. When you're looking at a work of art, I think it's so much more pleasurable and enjoyable to kind of look at the work of art for what it is rather than what it means, and allow it the beauty to come across to you and be experienced by you as the viewer, as the beholder of that work, and just look at the significance from your perspective that way. I hope that answers that question for you. This is another episode of BlankCanvasTV.com. We're changing the way you see and experience art. I'm Andre Knott, and can't wait to see you on another episode. Leave your comments here at the page, come say good day, and I'll see you on another episode. Bye now.